Yo, real quick, I just wanted to let you guys know that this video was filmed in the middle of August. So if you guys hear my AC in the background during this video, that is why. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this vid. Albuquerque, New Mexico. A city full of money, power, cartel violence, and corruption. This is the ultimate underground for criminal activity. Because who the fuck is gonna come to the desert to do criminal activity? Some say if you gangster enough, you will thrive in this city. But for others, this city is that bullshit. Because one wrong move, you could end up like this guy. And trust me, you do not wanna be this guy.
Surprise, motherfucker.
You see, pissing up the cartel ain't the only thing you gotta worry about here. Because there's literally a gangster chemistry teacher.
This is not meth.
Chilean Colonel Sanders, who also ore farms like he's Jesus. And of course, this is the stomping grounds of a man so cold he wasn't even in the original show. The menace known as Lalo Salamanca. So ladies and gentlemen, strap in as we observe Lalo on this episode of Lalo arrives to Los Pollos Hermanos to have a nice conversation with Gus, under the guise of investing. But in actuality, they here to talk about that cartel shit. And their conversation basically is that Lalo is thanking Gus for saving his tío. And Gus reciprocates with a, "You're welcome." But obviously, Gus knows that Lalo ain't here to fucking thank him. He's here for some of that scheming shit. And Lalo knows that Gus knows that he knows that they're both on that scheming shit. Because as you see later on, Lalo's on his scheming shit as he's scouring Gus's chicken farm, son. And notices that Gus's men is on high alert. And they begin to roll out. So what does Lalo do? Follow these motherfuckers. After Mike gets the information that he needs to find Warner Ziegler, the dude that they've been looking for because he decided to have a little powwow with his wife, he starts calling up all the hot springs that he know this dude must have went to. And Mike is the definition of a real life anime old head because this man for some reason is cold as shit in this series. So Mike heads to a parking lot and starts chewing some gum. And then this man puts the gum back in the wrapper that looks like the ticket so it can fit inside the slot for the parking. So this man waits for some dude to get out of 7-Eleven, waits for his car to pull out, and then fucking Fast and Furious his ass right in front of him. And there's a little wave too. My boy lucky he in Albuquerque now in New York, cause wrong move, you be getting the Luigi death stare, son. Then Mike puts the ticket first so he can roll out, and then puts the gum packet in there so it can get stuck inside the machine. The dude that was behind Mike can't leave the fucking parking lot because the ticket machine is broken. And Lalo is behind this dude. He's getting tight as shit, son, realizing that he's losing his chance to find Mike. And this is instance number 1 of showing you why Lalo is too cold for Breaking Bad. Because this dude rams his car into the dude that had his 7-Eleven. He commits a hit and run, realizing that he lost Mike, and he is mad as hell. So Lalo, with no other options, arrives to the place where Mike first found out where Warner Ziegler's at. So he goes to the front desk and kindly asks the guy to show him what he showed Mike. And obviously this guy is a professional. He's like, "Listen, my boy, we cannot break privilege." But you see, that was the last mistake he ever did for his company. Because as he's taking this phone call, he turns around to look back where Lalo was and notices this man disappeared like he's Batman. My dude is over here flabbergasted like I was when I was playing Dead Rising. Like, my boy, where did Carlito go? He knows that the styrofoam roof is open, son. So he realizes that Lalo's in the vents. Only for Lalo to pop up from behind him with the blicky pointed right at him. And then the scene cuts with this man clearly dead as shit and Lalo getting the information that he needs. And they don't show this shit, but this man also sets this place on fire in a deleted scene, son. So not only this man committed a hit and run, this man also committed murder and arson all in one episode. This is why this dude was too cold for Breaking Bad. Eventually, Lalo does call the right hot spring and he's talking to Warner Ziegler himself. And he's just asking about Gus's plans, and this dude, thinking that Lalo works for Gus, starts yapping a bit about Gus's plans. Until Mike does a little jump scare and takes the fucking phone away. Doesn't even say anything, but Lalo knew that was Mike. And then Mike just hangs up, son. And now the next part of Lalo's plan is to disrupt Gus's business. And to do that, he gets the help of the best lawyer in the entirety of fiction, Saul Goodman. So they meet up, and Lalo wants Saul to give information to one of Lalo's guys who got locked up so he can rat out all of Gus's drug money pickup spots. Eventually that actually happens, and Gus's pickup spots all get taken up by the DEA. And as you can see, Gus is one pissed off nigga. So because of this, Mike decides to take it upon himself to fucking put Lalo behind bars. Bro rats out to the ops saying what Lalo's car is and everything, son. But the ops eventually do find Lalo, and this man Lalo only sees one cop car, so he out just peace out on the ready. He was ready to go on a whole shootout with this one cop car, son. But then he sees the rest of the ops hold on in surrounding him, and Lalo realizes, nah, it's time for me to surrender. So Nacho calls Saul to go ahead and help out Lalo. So they discuss, and Lalo does not agree with what Saul wants to do. Instead wants Saul to get him out of jail with bail. And with these type of charges, murder and arson, it don't look good for Lalo. But Lalo don't give a shit. He knows Saul can get it done. Because all Saul needs to have the mindset of is
just make money.
Later on in jail, Lalo then calls up Nacho with his phone because, you know, Lalo is that nigga, so he can just get phones in jail. And he wants Nacho to burn down Los Pollos Hermanos, one of Gus's businesses. So with the help of Gus, because Nacho is an inside man for Gus, because Gus owns him now, this man burns down his own building. And as that's going on, Saul manages to get Lalo's charges down to bail. But the bail is set at $7 million. So Lalo wants Saul to go pick it up. And after exactly what Saul does, he picks up the money from the cousins and starts heading back to Albuquerque. But unfortunately, Saul runs into a little problem. Not gonna lie to y'all, this is that bullshit. My boy Saul kinda cooked. And look at this nigga. You mean tell me this is the same dude that gets reincarnated as nobody? I cannot see the resemblance, cause this nigga looking sorry as shit. So my man out here, Saul's pleading for his life before he's about to get clipped. Blood gets sprayed on his shirt. And Saul sees the dude that's about to clip him. Got, son. Immediately he ducks for cover. At the sniper is sniping all these motherfuckers. Clipping this fool. Clipping this bum. Look at this dude picking up 2 bags in the line of fire, running in a straight line only to get clipped. So eventually most of these motherfuckers get clipped by the sniper. And as the last dude gets clipped, we find out this was Mike all along. You must be wondering, one, why the hell would Mike do this if Mike was the reason why Lalo got put in prison in the first place? Because Gus wants Lalo out of jail so he can deal with Lalo himself and put an end to him permanently. And with the help of Mike, Saul is able to bring the money all the way to the courthouse, son. So Lalo goes back to Mexico and all is good. If only it was that easy, because Lalo figures out that Saul was telling him some bullshit. So he decides to take Nacho in himself to find out where the hell Saul's car was at. And he finds Saul's car in a ditch. So Lalo just jumps into the ditch, and I just find this funny because he's doing this shit with straight jeans. Like, this man had no holes in his ass. He all good. I don't know how his jeans did not rip him doing that shit. And then this motherfucker checks for what he wants to see, finds the bullet holes, realizes Saul was on some bullshit, climbs out the ditch, and decides to go back to Albuquerque. And he heads to Saul's crib, decides to fucking pester him about what the story really was. And this scene is just very tense. The music and everything in this scene is just so good. They don't even need to do it. He just giving these niggas a straight smile. Like, you know something wrong with him. He got the whole man their face. Like, I'm not fucking with the nigga. I'd rather just tell the truth. But thanks to Kim basically roasts the shit out of Lalo. Like, she over here saying,
then get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit. So it's together.
And after she dissed the shit out of him, Lalo realized, well, damn, she was right, and decides to dip and heads on to Mexico. Cut back to Mexico, and we see Nacho pouring out a fuck ton of oil to make a distraction for Lalo. And Lalo sees the smoke coming from the kitchen, heads inside, and this gives Nacho the time to open up the gate so he can fucking let the ops in. And Lalo clears up the smoke, and he's now talking to one of his guys saying who the fuck made this mess. Until he sees one of the ops, and he uses this dude as a human shield, take the bullet for him. Lalo then crawls in the corner, grabs a hot oil frying pan, waits for one of these motherfuckers to sneak in, and he throws the pan with hot oil on that motherfucker. Immediately his boys start firing at Lalo, and Lalo is dipping, yo. Man grabs a piece from one of his dead men and heads to the bathroom so he can make his escape plan. And after Lalo escapes through the underground tunnel, he then heads back inside so he can take out the rest of these motherfuckers. So these dudes see where Lalo went through the tunnel, and 2 of them go in there, and one of the other dudes stay behind until Lalo rolls on in, clips this dude, and then sees where these motherfuckers went, grabs the machine gun, and sprays down these motherfuckers on the tunnel. Finally goes to one of the last dudes crawling away. He stops him before he dies, and he tells him to whoever sent you, tell them you finished the mission, making everybody think he's dead. And now with that, Lalo heads out the compound with a new mission: kill Gus Fring. So Lalo makes it back to Albuquerque, and he's recording from the sewers to Don Eladio, letting him know what's going on with Gus Fring. So when he kills him, he got the evidence to prove why he killed that nigga. And later on, Lalo ends up calling Hector to let him know what his plan is, only to realize that the phones have been wiretapped by the Chicken Man. After Lalo crashes out, he then calls Hector, since he now knows that it's wiretapped. He calls Hector to tell him that he's gonna take out Gus tonight, and he sees all of his men mobilizing, son. He doesn't know what his next step of his plan should be until he sees a cockroach, and that's when he knows what he should do next. And as Howard is ranting and raving about Saul and Kim ruining his life, Lalo walks in like the fucking boogeyman. Look at my boy Saul. This man out here has the Dexter face, straight up close up. And this scene is immaculate, yo. Yeah, I'm using big words like immaculate because I did not expect Lalo to show up in the same frame as Howard said. These are two characters that I never met in the entirety of this series up until this point. And the final point they meet, you knew Howard was cooked. Because as Howard is trying to calm the situation down, this man gets shot in the dome. After that, Lalo shushes Saul and Kim and says,
Let's talk.
after that, he directs them to sit on the couch so he can tell them his plan. And he wants Saul to go kill Gus. But instead, Saul was like, you know, if that motherfucker sees this face standing here, he will shoot me on sight. So why not send her fine ass? She bad as shit, and you know she'll get everybody to open that door for her if she in distress. But the real reason why Saul was doing this, he did not want Kim to be left alone with this maniac. Lalo then says, fuck it, whatever nigga, and gives her the location and tells her head on stepping, you got 1 hour. So she heads to Gus's spot, and obviously Gus is not there because you know how Gus roll. He is that nigga. And Mike and the rest of these men take her inside, and Mike is trying to calm her down, and she blurts out that Lalo is with Saul, and Mike is flabbergasted. He did not expect Lalo to roll in on Saul like that, so he decides to take him and his men to go to Saul's crib while he keeps the rest of the guys with Gus. And as that's going on, Saul gets a nice stern talking to by Lalo, and Lalo thinks that Saul was involved in everything that happened due to him being involved with Nacho. He then ties up Saul and bounces. And where does he go? He goes all the way to the foundry where he knows all of Gus's men is dipping, so he can sneak on in. And now Gus realizes that Lalo was playing a distraction, so he himself and a couple men head to the foundry too. And as they're looking around, immediately all these motherfuckers surrounding Gus get clipped, son. And Lalo now has Gus right where he wants him, but before he kills him, he wants to have it on 4K camera on what this motherfucker really been up to. So Lalo now in 4K is recording the entire meth lab, showing off to Don Eladio. Then he kicks down Gus into the floor, and look at my boy, son. He really has the Breakingbad main op laid out like this. I'm telling y'all, he's too cold to Breaking Bad. Before Lalo shoots Gus, Gus wants to say why he did what he did. And he basically says this.
From the bottom of my heart, I've been wanting to say to all of you, F*** you, F*** you, F*** you, everybody, F*** all of you, F*** giving to everybody. You can have a, you can have a, you can have a.
And after that, before Lalo can kill him, Gus kicks the lights out, and Lalo starts spraying and praying, and Gus grabs his piece, sprays the shit out of Lalo, putting an end to Lalo Salamanca. And all I have to say to this scene is that was nothing but straight up plot armor, son. Because you mean to tell me this nigga did not dodge any of these bullets? Why the fuck would he stand in the same area in the dark where Gus knows that's where he last was at? Look at my dude, heavily breathing, son. He over here thinking he didn't even hit him. Breakingbad did not come out, and this is the show that came out first, we all know Gus would have been dead. But again, they had to find some way to kill the coldest character in the entire universe. It was not Gus, it was Lalo Salamanca, because he was so cold, he wasn't even in the original show, son. And that was the first episode of Tales of Albuquerque. If you guys enjoyed this shit, like and comment down below. If you guys want a part 2, let me know in the comments below, because part 2 will be talking about Gus Fring, and we'll end it off with Heisenberg himself. And subscribe if you are new, son, so we can get up to 2K. I love y'all, and I will see y'all on the next one. Peace!
Shooting threes in my feet, ballin' like I'm 18, ball box like 4.